What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. I know it's been a long time since I dropped a video. I know I took like a 2-week break. My partner just had surgery, so I've just been chilling with them, making sure they good. And they are, for all you guys wondering, my partner's good, recovering great. And I know that I kind of went without any notice, so I'm sorry about that. But we back. Thank you guys for subscribing. I know that I'm in a new room, which is also kind of crazy. I'm in my partner's room. I haven't been home in like 2 weeks, something like that. I think I've spent like one night at my apartment in the past like 2 weeks, so it's just been real crazy. A lot of shit happening in life right now, but I appreciate you guys for all the love and all the likes and all the subscribers, all the support that I got over the past 2 weeks, especially those of you like messaging me and checking in, making sure that I'm good. I really appreciate that. You know, I've never gotten that before, so I appreciate the support. And this is the first video I wanted to come out with. I got a couple more that I'm coming out with too, but this is the first one I wanted to drop because, not gonna lie, I've seen some of y'all Spotify raps. I've seen some of y'all hating on this record, saying that like this was one of the most disappointing records of the year, which blows my mind because I know that The Weeknd shared that this is like the album that people listen to the least out of his entire discography. People just pretty much ignore this one, and that he feels like this one is one that like nobody just like checked out, or that people were checked out like when it came out. You know what I'm saying? Like people were just like, oh, and I feel like that's blasphemy to me because this is one of my favorite Weeknd records. Like I like this album even more than After Hours. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this record right here. Is just the direction that The Weeknd went and how it should be more praised. I feel like this album definitely doesn't get its flowers, and that it will probably in like 5 years or so when people start revisiting it and seeing how great it is. But before we get further into the album, hope you're smoking along with me, staying high with me, staying hydrated with me. Bro, I'm sorry. I've been like gaining hella weight, looking kind of crazy. I apologize, y'all. I've been eating good. Definitely been eating more sweets than I should be lately. But thank you guys for clicking on the video. If you're smoking along with me, now's your chance. Let's fire it up. It's been a long time since we listened to lo-fi too. Listening to a lot of metal in the most recent videos. Shout out to all the love that I got in that video about the scene revival. I guess I'm not the only one that sees that coming, but I want to talk about Dawn FM. I feel like this album is so overhated. Not really hated necessarily, but definitely slept on. Like this, I see this album getting like no love on social media, which blows my mind. I know one of my homies definitely likes it as much as I do, and I see him posting about it, definitely saying the same thing I'm saying right now, that like, gotta give this album a chance. One of my niggas, bro, The Weeknd is his favorite artist of all time. He didn't even listen to this record. He said, I didn't even make it all the way through, which blows my fucking mind, bro. You got Jim Carrey like narrating the whole thing, kind of like Morgan Freeman did on Savage Mode 2 and some of the other 21 Savage tracks too that he's come out with since. Kind of like DJ Drama and Call Me When You Get Lost, kind of like DJing the record, but mostly like to come in to like talk and shit like that, like add some more shit to the record, like some context and shit like that. And I loved his poetry at the end too. Like Jim Carrey was one of the best features on the record. Like I know that there weren't that many, but Tyler the Creator's feature was also really great. I feel like it's impossible to not love this record, and it blows my mind that people just like aren't hearing what I'm hearing or something. Like, I think this is one of The Weeknd's darkest records. I think it's one of The Weeknd's best produced records, more thought out records. I loved After Hours. I loved the previous shit where he went in more of like a pop direction. I love Starboy, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like this is more of a Dear Melancholy vibe, but more like 80s influence, kind of like 80s goth influence, especially on tracks like Gasoline, which is probably one of my favorite songs off the record. I think that was my top played song last year, or this year, like in my Spotify Wrapped. I'll also leave a link to my top songs if you guys want to check that out, but Gasoline was my top played song this year, so that song is obviously my favorite off the record. But with tracks like How Do I Make You Love Me and Take My Breath, like, what's wrong with y'all niggas, man? I swear to God, this album to me is one of The Weeknd's more cohesive projects. I love that all the songs like flow into each other, and they all have like just like I was saying, this cohesion, like they all just flow. I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten the Weeknd record where everything flowed. I feel like the Beauty and the Madness was another record where everything kind of just like it felt like it had a really nice cohesion to it. Same with My Dear Melancholy too. I feel like that was a really like not a concept record, but kind of in that vein, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like the concept of a relationship that he was going through at that time. I feel like this is kind of the same way, and I feel like I know I'm saying I feel like a lot, but to me, it seems that like the songs, especially oh my god, bro. Especially the A Tale by Quincy, where he goes into parenting and like how not having certain parents in your life will affect you, and how having both parents in your life will affect you. Like he definitely tackles a lot of things that I think he hasn't really tackled before. And I don't think The Weeknd is a father. I don't think he is, but I think he's been toying with the idea a little bit. And he's kind of been like realizing like, damn, like, am I gonna have kids? Am I gonna settle down? Like, what's going on in my life right now? Like, what direction am I gonna go in? Kind of in the same vein of like The Life of Pablo, where Kanye was like, which life do I choose now at this point? I feel like this is The Weeknd's The Life of Pablo. Honestly, in my opinion, like I see so many similarities between The Life of Pablo and Dawn FM. And I know that I mentioned it before, but just the way the songs like flow into each other, you just have banger after banger after banger. And this 80s like synthwave goth version of The Weeknd, like he's looking really old on the cover and shit like that. I feel like he's just dealing with so much shit lyrically in this record that we really didn't get in the last one. And I know After Hours was great. I think After Hours was the last Weeknd project before this. After Hours was great. Okay, I love that album. But I feel like this one has more of an easier listening factor. After Hours had a lot of like slow parts and kind of like meditative parts in songs. And I feel like with this one, you get more of like a breather, not like meditative parts. You know what I'm saying? So you got like, I believe How Do I Make You Love Me goes into Take My Breath. I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes. Or vice versa, either way. The way that beat flows, and Take My Breath was a single, but the way the beat flows from the end of the last song into the first one, it's like a minute, maybe minute and a half of just like instrumental. It gives you like the time to like process what you just heard and like go into the next song. And Jim Carrey on one of the interludes even says like, don't you touch that dial. Like, it's so great, bro. You're definitely supposed to listen to this album like in one piece, like all the way through, which is usually what I do, except for days where I'm just feeling like I want to listen to Gasoline or Take My Breath. But I feel like you have to at least listen to the first 5 tracks in succession, genuinely, to like, it's kind of like a 30-minute song, which I love, and you really don't get that switch up until the middle, where there's also like a lyrical switch up in the record too. And he definitely goes in like more of a melancholy direction, more like sad lyrics, talking about like, is there someone else? That's another great song on the record. But if I'm being honest, the reason I want to talk about this album is because I guess I'm kind of making this a review. I didn't really know what to call this video because I didn't want to call it a Dawn FM review. I want to call it Defending Dawn FM, because in my opinion, this album is a 10 out of 10, which is crazy. It took me a long time to come to that conclusion, because for me to come to that conclusion, I feel like I have to listen to a record a lot and gauge how a record affects me personally and how I process it over time and just like what I go through during that period of time. So it takes me a while to really come to the conclusion that an album is a 10, unless an album is like right away like popping out to me in any specific capacity, but that hasn't happened in a long time, except for with this one. This album did it like right away, and I listened to this album over and over and over again. Like, there are records like Certified Lover Boy where I didn't like it at first and then it really grew on me, but I still wouldn't call an album a 10, honestly. If anything, like highest I'd go is an 8, but it's a definitive 7 for sure. But with this one, I want to make a video about it because like the more I listen to it, the more it becomes a 10. The more I can defend this album being a 10. Just lyrically, instrumentally, as far as the focus of the record, is just right fucking there, bro. He doesn't miss on this album. And if I was him, I'd be as pissed off as he is, because I see his tweets. I know that he's mad that people aren't liking this album as they should. And, you know, on one side, I can see that, you know, I'd be pissed off if I like really put my all into this record. Like, even Jim Carrey was talking about how when he heard the first glimpses of this record, he was blown away, and he was like, yes, of course I'll be a part of this. So to not get that reaction from everyone, I can see how that would be annoying. But at the same time, I like that this is kind of like a niche weekend record. Like, if you know kind of thing. You know, like Yeezus for Kanye, like or like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is probably a better example. Like, everyone loves that record, you know what I'm saying? Everyone recognizes that album as a classic, as this masterpiece of sound, you know what I'm saying? And that's what this is to me too. But I like that it's kind of, you know, if you know, you know. Because I've seen some comments that also agree with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there are going to be some people coming to this video, and they're going to be like, bro, thank you, finally, some nigga said it. Like, somebody finally fucking said it. But I just wanted to say that, honestly. Sorry in advance that I was... Sorry in advance. Sorry at the end that I was kind of groggy throughout this video. It's been a crazy couple weeks, y'all. And I'm tired as hell. But I really wanted to get these videos out for you. Thank you guys for being so patient. Thank you guys for the support that I've received over the past year. You know what I'm saying? It's the end of the year now, man. It's crazy. We hit 100 subscribers. That's awesome. We're almost at 200, kind of ish. That's awesome. We're definitely going to hit 200 next year. Yeah, bro. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching this. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Dawn FM. I really want to have a conversation about this, because I want to know, bro. I want to know. Like, I be talking to my niggas, like, how do you not like this record? Like, even one of my coworkers, I was like, bro, like, have you heard this? He's like, I haven't even heard it yet. How the fuck have you not heard it yet, bro? I'm so confused. I don't understand why people aren't loving this fucking album. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Again, thank you guys for watching. More videos coming soon. Not gonna leave you guys again for a while, I promise. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Bruce City Boys podcast coming soon, I promise. Fortnite content coming soon, I promise. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. My lips chapped as hell. Peace.